Three, two, one. Cool. Back like Chris Jack and New Jack in the 80s, you dig? All right, man. And this one I wanted to dive into the new Charleston White and 6ix9ine interview. We're not gonna get into the whole thing, of course, but I want to break down one specific segment. I want to talk about kind of my experiences from someone who I like to say I was associated with being in the streets, but I was never in the streets. You feel me? I had, let's just say, partners who was really in that, but I was more dabbling and associated with the streets. I definitely was into the whole quote unquote hitting licks thing and robbing and all that, but I was never violent. I'm gonna just be 100. I was never violent. I'm not a violent person. I love boxing. I love competing in boxing, but that's a whole nother thing. Other than that, I am not a violent person, never was. And if I'm just being honest, I'm not cut out for what it is the streets is. Like having to constantly be on guard, the constant looking over your shoulder paranoia, the PTSD, the constant fragile psychology and emotional fragility to where you're ready to snap on anything. And in a path where death or jail is your two most likely options, I just don't think it's smart and sensible for anybody to make that their full-time life. Like, just to be honest. And I feel like the anomaly in the psychology behind 6ix9ine in rap is such a rabbit hole because let's just be honest. If you would have told a gangster rapper in 1999 through 2010, roughly that era, that there would be a rainbow color Hispanic born New York citizen named Danny who goes by the rap name 6ix9ine, he will become a part of a infamous blood set in New York, become one of the biggest, most controversial rappers, snitch, stand on it, and make a pretty much successful comeback in my eyes. In terms of today's social conditioning and social climate, he's made a successful comeback. And even in 2017, 18, 19, I don't think anyone would have foreseen this. And what's crazy is, as someone who speaks outside of the street code, who speaks outside of the street life, I really think 6ix9ine has been the most authentic out of everybody who's kind of called him out for the snitching. I mean, everybody was talking about it, everybody was calling him out, but we know there were certain rappers and certain guys who was extremely vocal about it, even to the point where the whole Kodak Black feature for $1 million was really a controversy. That was really a thing. People really wasn't messing with Kodak for that at that moment. And I feel like it all comes full circle, and this is where I give 6ix9ine his credit. It's all stupid at the end of the day, and it's very selective politicking because at the end of the day, it is cut, dry, clear that in that interrogation, Young Thug snitched, and that was in 2015. So you got to think from 2015 to 2025 when this all surfaced, he has been rat K. Knowing the skeletons in his closet makes him exactly everything that he hates. What pissed me off about that Big Bang interview, and I fuck with Big Bang so hard, like to see his story, to see him go from, let me go full screen real quick. My camera bugging me, I ain't gonna lie. Like I like to say, get me out the trenches and we go get some better equipment. So I'm gonna upgrade eventually, like I said. But right now I'm gonna work with what I got and we're gonna get this message out. Y'all rocking with it. Y'all gonna be able to see the journey from bottom to top, and we're gonna build this thing together. Like I remember watching Flight Reacts when he had 30,000 subscribers doing the NBA Ballers series in his room in his mom house. I remember the first video watching Flight move into his apartment. I remember that. That shit was so inspiring. 1 second, let me make sure everything good. All right, boom, we back. And so just computer be blacking out all type of shit. But yeah, I remember how inspiring that was. So not to get too far off. Yeah, just rock with me. Just rock with me. But yeah, man, the psychology and how this comes full circle for so many who call 6ix9ine out on his BS and not realizing they were entertaining and surrounded by the same things they claimed they hated so much is such an ironic anomaly that kind of has been kind of an open secret in rap for so long. Like, and 6ix9ine in this interview spoke about so many things that we kind of knew but didn't know. Definitely when it comes to how so many rappers mess with underage girls. And in the light of the Davis situation, the recent Diddy trial, and the uncovering of all this manipulative and predator behavior, I feel like it's important for us to not give grace because it's our favorite artist or because this person carries themselves in this way or seems to be this way. Like I said in my last video, some of the most destructive and poisonous forces come in the form of beauty, come in the form of talent, come in the form of influence, come in the form of creation. So you gotta know with great power comes great responsibility. So we gotta, as the people, we gotta be the determining factors of what we allow to our homes and to our heart and to our spirit through art, through expression, through choir, through worship, etc., through influences, etc. So we're gonna get into this video. I'm gonna try to not make this one too long. As y'all can see, the last video has been 40 minutes. But I'd be going off. It don't mean to be that long. I just be going off. And like I said, I love to do the raw and unedited kind of content because it's emotional and it gives a connection that makes you two feel like, okay, this is something that is close to me. Like not everybody knows how to freaking capture 4K footage and find the right clips and get an AI script and an AI voice and create this somewhat of a professional piece of content. Sometimes me personally, my favorite content is the one that seems like I'm just talking to my homie, the one where it seemed like we just on FaceTime chatting about what's going on in the world. That's what made podcasts, in my opinion, so freaking successful, is because the intimacy of it. You get what I'm saying? Let me start this video a little bit. The intimacy of it. So, but yeah, just to take it back to 2017, got Kiki, Gummo, 6ix9ine is on top of the world. But with that came so much controversy, from the Trippie Redd beef to the charges when he was also caught messing with the younger girl, which he admitted to. And that's why I fuck with 6ix9ine, y'all, bro. This man, everything that would be used against him to keep him down, this man has owned up to and said, yeah, I was fucked up in the head. Yeah, I was being a follower. I can admit to that. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be cool. And I don't know if y'all know how much self revision and awareness it takes to even reach that point. Even if you're doing all the same fucked up shit, to have that specific awareness puts you into a space to where it can't be used as an anchor to hold you down. It just can't be. So let's get into it. We're going to touch on points as he go. We ain't going to get too far ahead of ourselves. We're going to try to actually watch this video. As y'all know, a lot of times I don't even actually watch the video. I just be going off, you feel me? So we're going to get into this video. I just want to say, y'all, hope y'all having a good day too. Take care of yourselves, love yourselves, love the people around y'all. Appreciate the people who push y'all. Appreciate the people who motivate y'all to keep going. Protect, guard, and defend the vulnerable, and protect, guard, and defend your spirit and what you allow into your home. I woke up this morning feeling great. I'm really proud about the feedback I've been receiving. I'm expecting the negativity, but I'm appreciative of every piece of it. So I just want to say thank y'all for rocking out with me this far. We got so much more to go, bro. This shit gonna be a beautiful journey for all of us. The ups, downs, the growth, all of it, bro. It's gonna be dope. I woke up this morning and I felt a feeling I haven't felt in years. And I'm excited for the future, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, these past 2 years have been some of the most hardest developmental years of my life, but I'm proud for the journey. I'm proud of the journey. I've always been one to appreciate the journey. I feel like that's why I've been able to have the gift and carry the gift that I've been given in my unique perspectives and expression and artistic form. I like to consider myself a living artist. Art is not something you do, art is something you live. It's an expression of the things that we cannot put into shape, sound, instrument that we put into a form or expression that is so powerful. The world likes to it. So I just want to say that, take love yourself, take care of yourselves. Let's get into this fucking video. You dig? I ain't got the best equipment, y'all. I'm sorry. I ain't got the best equipment. All right, let's rock out.
What we spoke about with the acceptance, right? The
Just to let y'all know,
acceptance to
he's
be.
speaking on the snitching allegation. They're starting flat from the snitching allegation. I mean the snitching situation with 6ix9ine taking a stand on the, is it the 9 Trey Bloods in that Rico case that was, I think, in 2018. I could be wrong. I don't feel like searching it up. 2017 to 18. And Charleston White just gave his opinion saying, like, he was just saying a couple things. And right now, it's really nothing. We ain't missed nothing. It's only 16 minutes to the video. Let's get into it.
Cool. Sit at the cool table. I want people to laugh at my jokes. I want people to laugh with me, not at me, right? When you see me, I'm not even gonna say Charleston because I'm talking for myself. You know what I mean? I will never put you in a position. When you see me and you want to be accepted and you try to do something, like I said, I'm facing my charge right now. You know what I mean? I'm facing my charge on September 25th. My new charges. That shit's not gonna make you cool. It's not gonna make you accepted. You have nothing to do with my case. You're a kid from North Carolina, Atlanta, Texas, Los Angeles, Minnesota. You from there. So when you see me, just make sure that's something you want to do. Because I take it upon myself to defend myself and make you an example. I don't want to hear why me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these rappers, right? That felt like they had to make themselves a part that had nothing to do. They was born on a block that got nothing to do with Bloods or nothing to do with non-Trey. Look at them now, where they at.
I do agree with that in terms of speaking from if I was in the streets. I do feel like there was a little bit too much of perspectives given from people who absolutely never participated in anything street. And of course, I am not one of those people who feel like, well, you can't speak about it if you never did it. Because let's be honest, there are coaches in boxing. Let's just use boxing example, who have fighters that 3 times exceeded what the coach was as a fighter. But y'all have to understand, everybody role doesn't mean they won't exceed in this role. Roger Mayweather, Floyd was not or half the fighter Floyd was. But with those experiences that they had early on with the losses, with the trip. My bad, y'all. I told y'all my shit be tripping. I'm working with what I got. You feel me? This is what it is. But yeah, like I was saying, I do slightly agree with him in that case. There were a lot of people who are never associated with the streets who don't understand any aspects of what it is to live that lifestyle. There were a lot of those perspectives given in this situation. But like I was saying, I feel everybody is equally valued in their role. Like I was using a boxing example. Let's just use Floyd Mayweather Sr. and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and then Bo Mack and Terrence Crawford. Those coaches, Floyd Mayweather Sr. and Bo Mack, were not even half the fighter that their fighters were. But because of the value and lessons from those experiences prior and before that, they were able to carry that value and then add and grow what it is that they were teaching and their fighters. Essentially, like, they were able to take those experiences and give it to their fighter, like, hey, this is why I messed up in the business. You don't have to take this route because you're going to end up falling into that same route. I mean, that same trap I fell into. You don't have to do this because I did it already. So everyone is equally valued in their position. Do you think every Super Bowl winning coach won a Super Bowl? Do you think every championship fighter's trainer won a championship? No. But you have to respect everyone's individual value and individual perspective. That's also why I named this unique perspective, because I understand the value in my perspective. I understand the intellectual capabilities that I have. I understand the awareness capabilities I have, and I understand that I'm able to form my expressions in a way that corresponds and connects with the mainstream collective and individual experience. That's why I feel like people had such great feedback to the original David video, because it was such a raw and unedited perspective that really connected more with the people than it did to the politics of the situation. I didn't just go into the case, new evidence discovered, and the details of that just had been found, and the whoopty wop wham, floopty flop flam. It's not a media meal ticket for me. Some of these people have really been treating it like a meal ticket. But let's get into the video. Yeah, he was just talking about, you get what I'm saying? Y'all heard what he was just talking about. I ain't really getting into nothing yet. Screen kind of blacked out. That's why we had to restart. Let me load this back up, y'all. 1 second. 1 second. But yeah, who would have thought that 6ix9ine would have been in this position? Like, a lot of people thought 6ix9ine would have been done by now. Like, a lot of people. 1 second, y'all. Might have to edit this one. Usually I don't do no edits. Literally, I just download a video and drop it. I really want y'all to see all the imperfections and all the mess ups, so there can be a real gradual growth that we experience together. So my bad, y'all. It's gonna be a little choppy. I ain't working with the best equipment, but we're gonna get it done. But yeah, who really would have thought 6ix9ine? And the crazy thing is, I really feel like 6ix9ine has been the most authentic out of all the people who has been exposed throughout the years. That was the main ones calling him out. Maybe outside of Lil Durk. Because as of right now, we don't know if Lil Durk has made any statements. We don't know if Lil Durk has pointed the investigation into one direction. Like, hey, he might have did it, pointed the elbow. We don't know yet. So we're gonna have to see. Let me full screen this and we're gonna get going. I'm gonna kind of let this play for a while. Because like I said, I be trying to react to these videos, but I usually just give my thoughts and perspective, because a lot of times I feel like a lot of the same speaking points are regurgitated when it comes to the whole commentary scene. So I really want to add a new flavor to this shit. Let's get into it though.
I didn't believe I'd ever
Really?
lose those last few pounds.
As soon as we rock out, it's an ad. Let's get into it. We're gonna add. We'll give our points as they come up.
Look where they at. They not even breathing no more.
And let me just say this. I watched Lil Boosie. I watched Lil Boosie, black rappers that had nothing to do with him, try to hype up people to do something. And when them guys assault him, I saw Boosie clap and promote and say, "Hey, I got they bond," and never made they bond. So don't let nobody. Never made they bond.
Listen
In
to me
my
right
opinion,
now.
Boosie is one of the most. I don't know. Boosie, in my opinion, his street legacy is one of the most grimiest, like effed up, fucked up psychology of a street guy. Like, the entire psychology of the streets is fucked up. Like, if you're only if you take this career path and your two most likely options is death or jail, bro, there's something ungodly about this. There is something missing. There is something, and the only way to avoid that is to get out of the streets. Think about it. It's death or jail or get out of the streets. It's a fucked up life, bro. It's a fucked up way of living. It's a fucked up mindset. It really is, bro. And there's no way around it. There's no way you can be good in a system that's meant to be corrupt and bad. You can be the good apple on a poisonous tree, but more than likely that tree is going to kill 200 people before it gets to you. For every one person who make it out the streets, thousands of babies gotta die. Thousands of hundreds of babies gotta die just for one person. That's not a good trade-off. That's not a good ratio.
Made they bond.
Listen to me right now. Say it again.
Boosie tried to hype some people up. Somebody need to get them.
I remember that. That's the situation where I might just call him Danny. I don't know. It just flows off the tongue easier. But you know what I mean. 6ix9ine. Is he talking about the situation where 6ix9ine got jumped in the bathroom? By the way,
Somebody got it. He said, "I got they bond," and never made they bond.
And mind you, listen to me. For the people that talk about, 6ix9ine, the only reason I'm gonna get my get back, even if it give me life, nigga. Trust me. The reason for that.
I disagree. I don't think Danny. I think Danny has proved that he is not willing to make the sacrifices that the street life require. That's why he took the stand. Because if he was willing to stand on it the way he just proclaimed, he would have stood on it.
Did they pay their bond? They still in jail right now. Maybe one came out, had nothing to do with it. It got probably to do with his pops. I'ma get life. even I'm gonna get my get back even if I get life, nigga. Trust me.
I think he's speaking more towards defending himself for those, because he's speaking more in a sense, I feel like I sense, in a way, not like I'm willing to stand on it no matter what, but more like if you're coming to test what you think is pussy or what you think is sweet, I'm willing to lay my life. I'm willing to do life to defend myself. Because usually I hear Danny speaking towards defending himself, never initiating.
Okay. Wait, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
Just stay out of it. Stay white. All you gotta do is stay white.
I think it says stay white. Stay white. Yo, Charleston don't got no filter. I'm talking about, bruh, none. This nigga will say the most chicken random doodle shit ever, bruh.
Nephew, we gonna be all right.
And I'm calling a nigga. And I'm calling a nigga that told.
Yeah.
That's Boston Richie, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna stay out of this one.
And mind you, that's a fact. So look, oh, y'all probably didn't even know that.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people know Boston Richie told, but if I'm being honest, Danny, you were the one who paved the way for being able to tell and still somewhat have a career, especially if you were already at a certain point. Now, if you were a Pop Hunter was just making his breakout. And then the Lil Uzi feature got taken down. Lil Uzi withdrawn once he found out he quote unquote told. Even though, let's be real, when you actually can take the time to understand circumstances and how circumstances play into how the outcome of a situation will be, you understand that, if I'm being honest, that Boston Richie situation is such a reach. That man was a kid. And I just talked about in my last video the fragile psychology of a 10 through a 15-year-old. Your developmental psychology is in such a fragile state. You're at your most vulnerable and influenced time. So you got to think, it was just a murder that happened in front of him to somebody he was deeply connected with. I believe it was a brother, a cousin, something like that. One of his peoples got shot, got murdered. And his mother took him to the interrogation room and told him to tell everything he know. You think this man, this kid, not man, no, not man. You think this kid is gonna buck on his mama and be like, no, man, I gotta keep up the street code, mom, I need the street code. In 20 years, I'm gonna be a rapper, and Lil Uzi gonna take away the feature if I snitch now. If I snitch now, I won't get the Lil Uzi feature. How the fuck is he supposed to know? This man is a kid, bro. You gotta understand the psychology, bro. You gotta understand the neurology, the mental and psychological influences that circumstances and social conditioning have over us. Social conditioning is very real, bro. It's deeper than the influence of your environment, because social conditioning is your environment, and it's the psychological aspects of it that can't be seen, that can't be just easily picked up. The little things you don't realize until you're 10 years removed and stepped outside of that mental space.
Go ahead.
How I'm gonna get a nigga I can't see?
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna stay out this one. All right, we got to talk about the hottest story right now in rap.
Yeah.
You both know about it. Talk about Thug. He got out. He just did a podcast.
Big Banks, yeah, Banks Perspective out in Atlanta.
That's
All right, this is the meat potatoes of the video. That Young Thug interview has to be the most hypocritical piece of content I've ever seen. I might literally go through that interview, grab, I'm just going to say 10 moments where I can literally find direct contradictions, bro. And I fuck with Big Bang so hard, it pissed me off having Big Bang just sit there and let this man just ramble, bro. But the thing is, when someone's rambling to that degree, you almost have to let it rock, because it can lead to a deep confusion, because they're constantly switching directions, which technically moves the goalpost. So every time you're trying to make a point, that goalpost becomes an extremely different topic, a different direction, a different value. So you could be speaking towards, okay, how can we reconcile with Gunna? How can you reconcile with Gunna after this situation? And it may turn into how Thug is the victim from his childhood trauma, which makes him hate Yak. And then that a point from that a turn into how you can't be a DL man or not stand on more manly moral principles, and you can't respect it, even though we can directly find direct evidence of this man being the most feminine man probably in rap history. Like when he talked about that gay shit, I almost exploded. I was like, Big Bang, bro, tell this nigga he wore a dress. Please, bro. Tell this nigga, did you forget? Not only did you wear a dress one time, two times, oh my, like, bro, you started all the feminine trends that the rap, let's just say that the people who support rap and hip hop throughout the years say is the direct cause of the destruction and the emasculation of modern black men through media. Thug, you were the catalyst of that. You yourself said you were sacrificed as the nigga that they call gay. But it was by your own intentions and your own actions. Niggas ain't just start calling you gay for fun. It was because of what you did and how you presented yourself. You started that trend. 6ix9ine, yeah, he may have paved the way for the rap snitch to have a career still and to still be able to operate in rap and in the industry and not be completely exiled like it would have been if it was 1990 through about 2010, 2012, 2014, 2013. He paved the way for that, but Thug, you paved the way for the feminine rapper. Be real. Thug paved the way for the feminine rapper. That's the truth.
I hope he didn't go to Atlanta because he would have been violating his probation.
That's your boy.
Like to call someone a snitch for what they did, but the whole time, I think the drugs is made this nigga literally forget that he was in an interrogation room 10 years ago. I really think the drugs made him forget that interrogation ever happened. That's how he was able to so confidently be Rat K. Think about that, y'all. Think about the psychology of that type of person. I'm telling y'all, these people tell you exactly who they are. King Slime, King Snake. What does the snake represent biblically? The downfall of humanity. The reason, quote unquote, one of the reasons why we are filled and consumed with sin and fleshly desires. So for that to be what you want to and choose to represent, and then to go from that to a spider, like, but you might really be King Slime. You might really be King Snake. And I always fuck with Sauce Walker for always calling that out and never letting that rock as something the kids should be representing themselves as. I always salute it and rock with Sauce Walker for that. Even to a detriment, Sauce Walker is really everything these motherfuckers want to be when they talk about pushing P. As much as I don't even care about that underworld shit or the pimping or none of that shit. I don't. You can tell just how my energy. But I salute Sauce Walker for authentically being that. Point blank, period.
Oh yeah, I fuck with Big Banks.
Okay.
Yeah, I fuck with Big Bang.
Okay. So wait, what? I'm learning, bro.
Nah, listen. That's Charleston Boy, right? Big no, it's cool. That's Charleston Boy Banks. You know what I mean? I don't know him, so I don't want to speak on him. You know
I think
what I mean?
it'd be good to sit down with him.
Banks.
But I'm just saying, I felt like you can't pick and choose, right? You can't pick and choose because more or less, like people could feel how they feel. Oh, niggas. Yo, bro, once you tell, don't make excuses for the nigga who told. You see, I came home and I wore my shit. Now I could have been like, nah, bro, they tricked me like these niggas do.
Yeah.
What Gunna said, yo, they tricked me.
The law, he says lawyers in the DA.
And the other nigga talking about I was flirting.
I was flirting, yeah. We don't know what you were saying.
You flirting, like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? You tricking and you flirting, like.
Well,
These niggas don't own they shit.
This what get me, homie. So this was my claim to fame.
When he was going so hard about the flirting thing, you know what pissed me off? If you simply rewatch the video or the interrogation, he was not flirting. He was scared. Did you hear his voice? He literally said, "But please, promises." He couldn't even get his sentences grammarly correct. Grammarly and you know what I mean? I can't even say it. Goddamn. I'm over here talking shit and calling my damn self out. Anyway, he literally said, "Promises. Let's just make promises. Just anything you need to know, let me know. Just give my number. I tell you anything you need to know." After saying Roscoe commits crimes on a day-to-day basis, after saying we sold Lil Wayne weed, after saying I'm not trying to block y'all interrogation or nothing, but you know, Roscoe, he crazy. I can see him doing that. He might have did it. Even that alone, bro, that is snitching. By street definition and street standards, that is snitching. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The only thing now we have to evaluate is your psychology, thug. Because we starting to see, bro, you really are as snaky and slimy as you proclaim to be. It wasn't just for the color green. It wasn't just for the logos. It wasn't just for the YSL. It was who you are. And we need to start treating these people for who they show us and want to be represented as. Who they showed us they are and who they want to be represented as. You want to be treated like a thug, you're gonna get held to thug standards. You want to be treated like a gospel guy, you're gonna get held to gospel standards. You feel me? We got to, bro. It's the only way we're gonna be able to guard, shield, and protect our homes, our minds, and our spirits from these people, these agents of chaos, these agents of division, these agents of destruction who parade and masquerade themselves as these talented artists, influencers, etc. I have a whole in my book I was writing, I have a whole spiritual breakdown of the art of masquerading. It's a real art to that. But yeah, that young thug you off, bro. That young thug interview pissed me all the way off. My bad, y'all. Y'all know I'm not good at actually reacting to videos. You know, this ain't meant to be a reaction. The interview is out. You can go watch it. Blah blah blah.
Corvette. So this
It's the situation I was talking about with the pop hunter and him telling when he was a child. That's how I also found Charleston White, was from him speaking on this situation, and I really agree with his perspective.
So I'm, at this time, homie, I'm just a nigga in the community working with kids, people. So I see Gilly in the hip hop industry shame this kid for either telling or being a witness when he was like 12 or 13 years old. Was he like 13, Pop Hunter? So Gilly the kid.
What I just tell you, 10 to ages 15, your psychology is fragile, bro. I cannot express that enough. That's why I give David no grace. That's why Celeste Rivas and her family gets all the grace from me, because I had what I can genuinely say that I damn near had a perfect childhood, and I chose, for one reason or another, that is a whole nother video. One reason or another, I chose to run away. Yes, I was reported missing for a while. I ran away, and because I was chasing the false sense of freedom, I didn't want to be. I was so ready to be a grown-up. I thought it meant I would have to sabotage the value of the structure I have laid in front of me. And now I can really admit that I have it 10 times harder because of the path I chose. But it's a part of my journey, my story, my testimony. And if I did not, I probably wouldn't even have the intellectual, the spiritual capabilities, and the gifts that I have to give to the world now. So it is all a part of the journey. But some people don't make it to that other side. And that's why I like to tell my youngest brothers and sisters, because I'm the oldest on both sides. Don't even think you can make the mistakes I did, because I had real bullets flying past me because of the stupid shit I was into. I watched my cousin get shot because of the stupid shit I was into. I watched it for some shit I really caused. If I'm being real, when my cousin got shot, he wasn't even participating in what got us shot. He was just there. So that shit is real, bro. You're fragile. I was 15 when that happened. They all older than me. I always hang with people that was older than me for some reason. They were 2 years older than me, so they're a little older. David, like I said in the last video, if David was 15 and the circumstances of this case was the exact same, I promise you, at minimum, we would look at certain aspects different. Of course, it would still be twisted and fucked up, but I promise on everything, we would look at this case different. It's the fact that he was at an age where, of course, you're not fully psychologically and mentally developed, but you are enough to make intentional decisions and understand the consequences of what you are doing. Simple as that. That's why I say, what the fuck happened to that baby, David? What the fuck happened? Because you are conscious and aware enough and intentional enough to know what you were doing from the moment y'all met. From the moment you made that stupid ass video talking about when your therapist brings in the Hello Kitty girl, knowing she left the house and ran away and was last seen at Hello Kitty, bro. Knowing that, you fucking freak. Shit pisses me off, bro. My bad, not to get into it. Y'all know how I feel about that case, bro. Y'all know how I feel. But yeah, they talking about the Pop Hunter situation.
Nigga, everybody shamed this kid. He had the hottest song that year.
But listen, and this is facts. This is, leave the dead alone. If Gilly was saying, yo, something about that, wasn't he trying to bring the people who son to justice?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's so.
Like, just look at the facts. Don't, yo, bro, just leave it alone. When you not put in that position.
That's why they don't like 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine, since he was in those shoes of being the snitch and in those shoes of the person that was on the stand, the person that was being accused, he is hyper vigilant of every hypocrisy of every single person who called him out. If you call 6ix9ine out for snitching, nigga, you better not even think about snitching. You better not even think about telling no shit. He own it. What? Who? You the one who called me? I remember you told about that piece of bubble gum when he was. So how you gonna call? He on all of that shit, bro.
And they don't get.
And I don't blame him, bro. I don't blame him, bro. I'm gonna be honest. This version of Danny, in my opinion, has way more substance and value than the pre-snitch Danny. Pre-snitch 6ix9ine, I hate it, bro. I did not like 6ix9ine before he snitched. Really, I was blown away that he snitched so blatantly. But I was damn near happy because I thought it would destroy him. I'm gonna be real. I thought it was gonna be over for him, and I didn't think he would be able to make that psychological pivot to where he's able to not only accept what he's done, but realize the hypocrisy in the life he was living, not try to justify it, not try to bring it back to, oh, that's all I knew in my family, and I was punched when I was a kid, and it made me turn green, and I was yellow when I was blue, but I was really just do. Like, no, bro. He stood on it. He understood. He was enamored. And he was captured and contained and consumed by that admiration for what he thought was the street life. And once he was able to be 10 toes waist deep, he realized he was not cut. That's the truth about 6ix9ine. That's the psychology of 6ix9ine. That's what makes 6ix9ine such an anomaly in rap, because he didn't run from it, y'all. That's what makes him special. That's what makes him a point in rap history that will forever have to be spoke about.
And it's not your turn to wear those shoes. Don't speak on it.
So him and his son shamed this kid. This kid was the hottest rapping at the time, homie. Now this kid tried to commit suicide because look, so they shamed him. He was 18 at the time. Uzi Vert got off the album. His rap career went downhill, homie. What's his name? Corvette, Pop Hunter?
The Corvette TikTok.
Yeah,
right?
Pop Hunter. So, homie, his career went.
Even looking at it as a 24-year-old, I'm 24. My mindset at 18 was some bullshit for real. Like, if I'm being real, I feel like I didn't start coming into my own until the age of 21 when I moved out and I moved to a different city, and certain things transpired, and I really foundated myself spiritually and intellectually. And I was able to use my perspective and my experiences as a pivot and as a catapult to doing better things with my life, like just point blank period. Like, a lot of the shit I was into before that was straight bullshit. That's why I feel like it's so hard for me to obtain certain things now, because of the way I founded it and what I set myself up with in my direction and my decisions making that led to this. You get what I'm saying? You're not just I didn't just wake up one day with this situation at hand. It was a day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour decision making.
Downhill. So I'm saying, look at all these grown niggas shaming this kid. How old was he? He was 13 with his mother. So you mean to tell me if you witness your mother and you and your mother go down on your mom's son who did it, you ain't finna say, Mom, Johnny done that?
Right. Didn't I just literally say that? I just literally said that. The psychology of a 12, 13-year-old is fragile, and it's scared when it's put in those situations. It's scared. Even if you don't plan on snitching, I guarantee you there were so many people who were pulled into an interrogation room at that age, and even their mama crying made them tell. Just their, like, just little, like, it's not, those situations were not meant to be on the shoulders of a 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old. But when you live the street lifestyle, which he wasn't at that time, if I'm not mistaken, he was just a kid, there are unreal expectations because it is an unrealistic lifestyle that has very real consequences.
So we put in these streets. So that's what got me start saying, nigga, fuck you. Gotta tell on all you whole ass nigga. That's what activated me with the telling shit.
I mean, he said mental health. Pop Hunter dealing with mental health, right?
He's dealing with mental health.
He's dealing with mental health because it's just like I gotta watch over my shoulder. I'm a
PTSD,
right?
yeah.
And not only do you got to watch over your shoulder, something you did when you was a kid is now affecting your real life day to day and how people view and value you today, 10, 5, 6, 7, however many years later, for something that you at the time felt was so innocent and genuinely you was. But because of how sick the psychology is of that specific industry, it is now used against you. Pop Hunter, I will tell you this, brother. Seek God, seek understanding, seek understanding, and find something you're passionate about that accepts you. I don't give a damn if it's sports commentating. I don't give a damn if you start gaming. I don't give a damn if you start knitting. I don't give a damn if you start golfing. I don't give a damn if you start drawing. I don't give a damn if you start writing. I don't give a damn if you start working out. I don't give a damn if you start playing sports. I don't give a damn if you start reading. Find something that you can use as a therapeutic outlet that accepts you and not just what you're able to give. Because a lot of times in music, it ain't the artist, it's the art. That's what separates the legendary from the one hits. That's what sets the legendary from the has-beens. It's the fact that, yeah, you were able to be the one to create this trending sound at a moment in time where it would be received in a great light, but it wasn't timeless. It wasn't something that you had no matter who you were. It was just in your soul and spirit. That's why we say shit like, as humans, you got to think of the sayings we got as humans. I know I'm getting into a tangent, but this is why unique perspectives. You feel me? I'm gonna give you the game and the sauce in a way you ain't never heard before, but in a way that relates to everything you've probably been through. That's the point of that's what I'm here for. To give you the sauce in a way you probably never heard it before, but in a way you can relate to that experience in some way, shape, or form. It ties into what you're experiencing. It corresponds. So when you have this, it's probably such, I can't imagine putting myself in the shoes of Pop Hunter. I would probably be suicidal, bro. This is my dream, something I've been working to obtain. I've been in the studios, even if it was his first, second, third song, there was some sort of vision he had to where he said, I can do this. It started with the feelings, develop into an emotion, develop into a vision, which developed into actions, which led to the song Corvette blowing up. It didn't just fall into his lap. A song has no dimension, width, length, height, and death or birth date. So therefore, it is spiritual. That's why I say music is so powerful. So we got to understand that. But yeah, like I was saying, it will probably put me in a dark spot. Imagine you making it to the NFL, right? Or the NBA. So let's say you go professional sports. And because let's just say, because you and your coach had a big fight when you was a freshman and you had to switch schools in high school and went on to the NFL from there. Let's just say because of that fight, that coach now can don't. I remember he did this, and this is that, and he did this and he did that. Because they have just enough influence. It can let's say you get cut short in the league. You don't get to express. You don't get to have the fairness in creating your legacy and having a shot in the NFL because of that. Like you got there, they drafted you, but then once they seen who was drafted, that person, that coach you got in a fight with, makes some moves, says some things, and now you're cut, you're left to dry. And you know nothing else. You've been chasing this your life. You're only 18, 19, 20, getting drafted. This is all you know. This is what you've been doing since middle school, high school, even elementary, probably. Pop Warner, local youth league. I know I played football when I was young. I was in elementary, 4th grade. I remember 4th grade. And I played baseball for 2 years, 5th and 6th grade. So I get it, bro. It's probably tough, bro. It's probably tough. We're gonna wrap this video up. This is the meat and potatoes. They really, if I'm being honest, just talked about this for an hour. They just talked about snitching and the Young Thug thing for like an hour. So it really ain't that much to get into. But I'm not gonna lie, bro. Danny cooking a lot of you rappers, bro. Y'all might got it. And really not even. I was about to say y'all might got it in terms of the music, but I don't know if niggas peeping. Well, 6ix9ine has admitted to using fake views, so I will add that sentiment. But that's the whole industry. But 6ix9ine been doing some views. Like he ain't falling off completely. It ain't like he doing 40K in a month or 200K, 100K in 3 years or some shit. Like his shit gonna touch maybe 5 million, 3 million, 2 million on the low end, 900, 800. You know what I'm saying? He's still doing that. And he got the I think it's the Latina rap type market sold up. So Danny, bro, whether y'all want to give it to him or not, 6ix9ine, bro, has been authentically himself through the FBI selling his clothes and shit. From the snitching to the getting jumped in the Planet Fitness. And he got the cojones. He got the balls to sit right there and face it. And that's what I fuck with. I'm not gonna lie, I fuck with it.
So I beat some nigga up. He threatened me with a gun, right? And people, probation told me, don't speak on this. I said, why wouldn't I speak on it? So y'all won't catch fire for it. So the judicial system won't catch fire for it. Y'all want to be quiet, right? I was quiet for too long, right?
So you basically said, homie, you're really dealing with some mental health issues.
I'm dealing with some mental health issues because now I can't. If the word snitch rat come out your mouth,
it's like trauma. It's like
no, it's not even
trauma.
that. I gotta get on you.
Say, listen.
You know what I mean?
Wait, why?
But remember, they go.
hold on.
Rappers love to say it's not even just that. Niggas love to not admit that you hit on the point that they were trying to speak towards. Yes, nigga, it is PTSD or trauma. If you feel you have to emotionally act vigorously every time you hear the word. My bad. I don't know if y'all hearing that the shit from my hat. My bad. Let me take this off. It's one of the pendants on my hat. Might be rubbing against the headphone. But yeah, it's obviously some sort of PTSD or trauma where you feel you have to vigorously react specifically to that sentiment. He didn't even say what type of way you use it. He just said snitch. If I just hear snitch, and just sound like nigga snitch. What? Who said what? What? Wow. No, I don't want to tell. Oh, nigga, just get the tweet.
No, Stanley. These words I can't take lightly because
they say that shit to you. Is that what you're saying?
I can't take it lightly. Hear me out.
Yeah.
I can't take it lightly because now I feel threatened. Why? Because
All right, let's get into it.
I done experience. All right, so if mental health didn't exist, it's like, oh, you just using an excuse. You just using it as an excuse because you assaulted someone and you're trying to get off probation, right? Right?
Yeah.
And you're not trying to deal with them charges.
They say to him, but they don't say that to me.
Right? No, so watch this. Hold on, let me say
I'm
something.
trying to understand. Yeah,
You say something to me after I already,
I see what you're saying.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
But you just don't want me to speak on it. They like, don't speak on the situation.
Because they're so
I don't really get what he's trying to say. I've been following the point. He said because of mental health, well, he assaulted somebody. I guess I'm assuming using context, they might have been calling him a snitch, kind of like the Gunner thing. That video was like, take that red ass shit out the city as he was walking past very politely. Take that red ass shit out the city. Why you tell him, thug? Niggas be ready to. Y'all don't know these niggas, bruh. Y'all don't know these niggas.
Now we gotta let you slide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now we gotta let you slide.
Okay.
When in actuality, homie, it's a mitigating factor that they should take a look at, and it doesn't excuse the behavior, but you don't punish the behavior.
Yeah,
you don't punish the behavior.
I see what you're saying.
You see how
So you're saying like, are you
It has to be chemically and psychologically proven, though. That's why it's good to go get psychological evaluations and talk to a behavioral therapist, because there is actual chemical and neurological, let's just say, nuances that we all deal with. That's why some people have ADHD, some people have bipolar disorder, some people have schizophrenia, some people have, it's all chemical deficiencies. That's all it really is, chemical deficiencies. So you may be lacking in some areas. Some people may be able to concentrate better than others because the neurological, let's just say, development for them happened in a way that shaped it to be that way, or whatever the case may be. That's why hyperplasticity is becoming a popular study, which I was studying. I started studying that. I first studied hyperplasticity in 2020 after Kobe's death. For some reason, that's when I found it. and it's basically the neurological adaptation for, let's just say, thought forms that take place as relative to the individual. So if you, let's just say, you have the ability to actually concentrate and focus and believe yourself as to be a let's just say a police officer, and you never went to the academy, none of that. What hyperplasticity is the neurological process that happens when you actually start to believe you're a police officer. Like if you just, it's kind of like, let's just say you tell yourself, I'm a pass this test. Like you just believe in, I'm gonna pass this test, but you really put your spiritual, concentrative, your mental, your mind, your physical, you put all of that somewhat basically into that. There's an actual process that actually happens where you actually start to become that. That's what we kind of know as manifestation in a way. That's all that is. So I get it.
Let me just say this. So homie, okay. So nigga, one time I went so extreme online, right?
Give us a scenario if you don't mind. Because I've seen you do it a few times.
So no, I went very extreme. So I'm running a youth organization. Nigga, I've been selected to campaign with Trump to 3 key battleground states, and then my homeboy son, high-ranking police officer. But I had been having issues with a local police officer who had threatened my life. So nigga, I go online and I go in on this dead officer. Nigga, in ways that nigga, I'm bragging about.
I'm not gonna lie, we're gonna end this video here. I already know about the situation you talk about. Basically, he got arrested for what he was saying online and was admitted into a mental health institution. And basically, that's where he said he started to see the difference in like what actually being like mentally, we're having actual mental disabilities and neurological disabilities is like. Basically, the difference between his crazy and like this nigga's actually like biologically crazy. Like this nigga's psychologically diagnosed as crazy, like type shit. Not in a bad way, but that shit is what it is. But we're gonna wrap this up. I'm not gonna lie, we done got to the points I really wanted to hit. I don't care. I know this video kind of long, but I had to get it out. I had to, you know what I'm saying? Like I do, we do the raw, unedited, unique perspectives and unique conversations. I'm not gonna lie, bro. It might have seemed like Danny, he's starting to win the war, bro. He's starting to win the war. They might, all the rappers who took their shots, they might be winning the little battle, but when you think about the main catalyst of the kind of F6IX9 thing, they all ended up kind of folding to almost a hypocrisy that they call 6ix9ine out for. Kodak was the only one who kind of was like, man, I don't even care about that shit. I'm gonna take this bread and I'm just gonna cool on all that all that other shit. Meek, he been going through what he been going through. Dirk and Von, obviously, the whole O Block shit, the whole OTF, that main group that was in the spotlight with Dirk and all that, they going through what they going through. Thug going through what he going through, Gunna, and those were the main people I could think about, other than a few other people who just kind of threw shots here and there. But it's just crazy to see Danny actually be able to still be seen in somewhat of a positive light. And I feel like it's a testament to his ability to be self-aware, have acceptance and accountability, and move forward in a trajectory that at minimum eliminates some of that. You know what I'm saying? Like that eliminates some of the baggage and anchoring that took out of him, the toll it took. That's why I said earlier in the video, it can't be used as an anchor to hold him back because he accepts and stands on it. From getting beat up in Planet Fitness to goddamn getting Kuda beat his shoot, because he talked about the Kuda beat shit in this interview, getting Kuda beat his shoot at the shooter and shoot up the Chief Keef W and everything. Like he's an open book, bro. So as something, there's a minimum of respect I always got for him. You're not my favorite person ever, obviously, but it's something I wanted to speak on for a while, because when it's all said and done, when we go back and look through the chronological rap hip hop history timeline, there's going to be a mini 6ix9ine. There's going to be somewhat of a 6ix9ine era. I don't care what nobody say. Not because he's the best, not because he sold the most like he liked to proclaim, even though we seen the streaming farm. So that literally, we got to keep that in mind every time we say how much you sell, because you showed us it, nigga. And I know it's happening for other artists too, but you showed us it for you. So yeah, all that, I just feel like when we look through all of that and we go through the timeline of rap hip hop, there's going to be a 6ix9ine era, and whether we accept it or not, he ended up coming. There was the other side of that fire, bro. We've seen a lot of people fold. So this is something I wanted to speak on. We got some more dope content coming up. This shit gonna be real fire, bro. We building something, like I said earlier in the video. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for the growth. I'm excited to, have everything, to really build a community. That's the thing I'm most excited for. Let's just build a community of just dope motherfuckers, dope spirits, dope souls, and let's just build something great and something people remember. As simple as that, bro. While we on this earth, y'all take care of yourselves. Love out. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the rest. Do your best. We gonna pass the test. Hey, we out, man. We out.